Well, it's John Black, super chemist, JBSC. It's been a while since I did any videos. I wish I would have finished up on the gender thing, but let me see where I was at. I did want to say one last thing is like I was watching this one kid, he's doing a video on YouTube or whatever, right? And he's changed his pronoun to void. Instead of he or him, it's void. You know, and he's saying, using it as an example in his sentences, you know, using that pronoun. And even he's using it. He's the one using it. That's what's funny is they use these pronouns. They can't even use them themselves without hesitating every time they use it. Oh, wait, I get it. He would be changed into void or void. You know what I mean? It's like, if you have to do that, then you got a flaw in your fucking system, dumbass. You know what I mean? But even he couldn't do. I mean, there's just so many pronouns that it's like it's ridiculous. And the only way that you can know someone's gender is by reading their mind. So obviously, using pronouns to for total strangers, you know, you're going into a restaurant. If you're there, you want to just get your food. And if you're the server or the waitress, you just want to get the order. You know what I mean? You just want to do your job, and they just want to go along with their life. And now you have some idiot who cares about his pronouns and his gender so much that I don't need to know your gender, motherfucker. I don't know you. I don't care what your gender is. I barely care what my gender is, let alone yours. Why would I care about yours when I don't even care about mine? You know what I mean? Like, never once have I sat down and thought about my gender. That, oh, you know, I'm male and I'm this or I'm that or I'm, you know, what I am. Never once have I done that. Never. But anyways, you know, this is insanity. So I'm gonna go over I'm gonna basically go over what I already went over and try and condense it into what I said. The Democrats think that if you are, and remember, we're always going male to female because that way it's easier, which is one thing. The Democrats think if you're male and you have a female brain, that magically changes your physiology of your biology of your, you know, the rest of you, and it changes your genitalia, gives you ovaries, you can have periods, and you can get pregnant, and then your XY chromosomes magically turn into XX chromosomes. So this is, I'm not even going to get into any more of that because it's just so crazy. To someone who believes that, you can't change their mind. How can you change the mind of a person like that? They're just crazy. They've got their religious beliefs, and you can't change their religious. Trust me, I've tried to change Christian beliefs from people. It doesn't matter how much I tell them, how much they learn, how evil their religion is, and how much I prove it to them. They don't care. They will not change or budge. They will tell you that rape is murder, raping children, torture. They will say all these things are moral and okay if their God tells them that it's okay. So they're, you know, that's all there is to them. But for the Pastafarian, we think that a trans woman is a biological male, like me, right, who has a female brain. Okay, you can't never change that biology and that chromosomes about the male. They're always going to, even no matter how much surgery you do. I wish I had, if I had a magic wand and I could make it all better, I would put all the right bodies and the right brains together, you know, but I don't have that magic thing, and all you can do is try to look, you know, do for you. If it means surgery or whatever, do you, you know what I mean? You gotta be happy in life. And that, you know, if the child proves it beyond a shadow of doubt, and the parents are on board, and a psychiatrist, a real psychiatrist, who actually make sure that the kid is transgendered. Uh, you know, depending on their degree of dysphoria, gender dysphoria, they'd have the more severe cases would be younger, and the less severe cases would be older. Until you got the cases where you'd have to be 18 adult to actually transition medically. Now, Democrat thinks as soon as a kid says, if someone's autistic and they're feeling going through puberty and they're feeling odd in their body and they say, oh, I might be in the wrong body, I might have a female brain and in a male body, then a psychiatrist is by law required to say, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. You are in the wrong body. We need to start transitioning you, giving you meds, giving you puberty blockers and estrogen and all this other stuff. Chop your, whatever's off and this and that. And if they even question the child, that's it, man. They lose their license. That's what a Democrat thinks. I think that they need to investigate and do it the way they used to do it, where they didn't just take your word for it. First, they would be neutral about it so that they can get all of your feelings and all of your whatever's out, what you think. Then they would go against you and say, well, I don't believe you. I don't think this is whatever. Because you not only have to, that way you're not swayed or, by the doctor, and then when you tell the doctor what you're feeling, he knows. And then he can push against it. And then if the child still was like, no, you can't push against me, well, then we know that person is more serious about it. You know what I mean? But a Christian thinks that there's no such thing as a transgender person. They believe that, and like I said, a pastafarian just believes that cord that goes from, one hemisphere of the brain to the other hemisphere, when it's skinny, it's male. You have a male brain. And when you are female, you have a thick cord. And that's a fact. Actually, everyone believes that. That's a science fact. So a pastafarian just thinks that when your machinery, your DNA is just a machine, a factory that builds stuff, right? And has switches to turn parts of the factory on and parts of the factory off. And that we believe that when it starts making that cord, right? Because the cord is the same, whether it's in a female or a male. The only difference is, the material is the same. The only difference is that it's bigger and smaller. You know what I mean? So all we think is that machine that makes that cord got turned on, just like on every human being in the existence that's ever existed. That's the way it's happened, right? We all agree on that. The machine turns on, starts making the cord. All we're saying is the switches to turn this machine on and off doesn't turn off quick enough, And now instead of having a skinny cord, you have a very thick cord, which makes your brain, by definition, female. Because that's the definition of a female brain, basically. There's other differences, but that's the main one, is that cord size. So why it's so impossible to believe this? Transsexuals have been around forever. The same with non-binary people. They used to even do a skit 20 years ago on SNL or something like that, Saturday Night Live, where they had I think it was a woman, I don't know, but she played a part of someone that didn't look male or female, and that was the skit. That was the funny part, is everyone she encountered, or he encountered, they'd try to guess, is that a girl or is that a boy, by asking her questions, and they could never get her to tell her, anyone what her gender was. And these people, we know them. We know. We all have seen people, 100 years ago or 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They don't look female or male, and they kind of go in between. And what do you think's going on there? That's what non-binary is. That's it. To say that they don't exist is kind of crazy, because, like I said, oh God Almighty. Hello? Hello? God, I hate people so bad. I forget what I was saying. But we know these people exist. And that, we see them. To say that they don't exist is kind of crazy. To say that all mutations can happen, you can have one heart, half your brain in there. All mutations too, not just in like what you like or what you do or your intelligence, your athleticism, or how many feet you have, how many hearts, how many whatever. Not just that. There's always a spectrum when it comes to biology, even with sexuality. But the Christians say that no, you can have any kind, they believe in any mutation just like everybody else. Even in the brain, you can have any kind of mutation except one. You can't have that can't have that mutation. That's impossible. You can be born with a half a brain. You can be born with a brain and a half, but you can't be born with that mutation of that cord being big instead of small. That sounds so ludicrous. It's downright ludicrous. But okay, let's say that they're right about that, right? Let's just say. They also say that the Bible says there's only a man and a woman. There's an XX chromosome and an XY chromosome. Only a man and a woman. But yet we know for a fact there are intersexed. So there are mutations. Like they act like this. There's no mutation that can make a female brain, when it should be a male brain. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe you're right, even though I've shown many statistics or experiments that show that they're wrong, but whatever. But they say that that mutation can't happen with the cord. It just cannot happen. There's only a male and a female, but we know about intersexed. So there are mistakes in gender, obviously, because that's a big a mutation if it's in your chromosomes, because that chromosomes go out through your whole body. You know what I mean? And what else now? Yeah, name one. I would like someone to name one other thing in biology that there isn't a spectrum. Because I know there's just people that run slow, fast, smart, and stupid. Zero hands, one hand, two hands, three hands, half a brain, a whole. I know people that no matter what, there's always a spectrum of what you have or can do. But name one other one, because they're saying that no, when it comes to, you can have a lot of mutations in your brain, but not this one with the cord. Okay, so, and they think that no one should be able to change their sex or whatever. Christians think that once you're 18, sure, you can go to some process or whatever, but until then, you should have it. It should be up to the government or their religion, their theology. See, if you take theology, Pastafarian is the only one who takes theology out of their thinking. Okay, the only way that they can say that there's no trans people and there's only two genders is to take their God and bring it in and say he does some kind of magic or something that prevents this one mutation, even though there's billions of other mutations that can happen with your brain and your body, but not this one, because God intervenes with this magic. It's always about magic. Okay? Once you bring in magic into something, you've lost me. Okay? Now, let's see what time we got here. Yep. I'm out of time. But so when I come back, I'm going to talk about the bad side, okay? Because I've told you that I'm really believing this stuff, and I'm down for it, about the trans people and this and that. But now I'm going to give you the communist side of it. You don't understand what's really going on until you hear this part of it.